Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel.
We're the Dawnties.
My name is Rochelle.
I'm your favorite Donna.
And today we're going to go over our Disney World trip. Day one.
Day one. Okay, so travel day.
Yeah, so travel day was very stressful because of all the rainstorms that was occurring here at home.
It was raining going to the airport, and she was like white knuckling it, and her mom was like, "What's wrong with you?
Look outside. We can't see, and we're going to be flying." So it was a little stressful on the flight for me.
There was a couple of times we hit some bumps, but I'm not scared of flying.
So that was fun. So we finally get to Orlando, and the very first thing we did was go straight to the store in the airport because we knew we were leaving out super early. Whenever we were flying back home, that would be the only chance to get to go to that store.
Yeah.
So we bought some stuff.
We did. We just landed, and it's like, okay, we're buying stuff at the airport.
Yeah. Well, we had planned that because we knew that was our only opportunity.
Yeah.
So okay, so we finally get onto the shuttle.
All right, so we're on the bus headed to the hotel, and my mom wasn't doing well, guys, and I knew she wasn't doing well. They had called the family in, and
just a few days before we left.
Yeah, like Wednesday, I left work early and met my brothers where my mom is, and spent the afternoon with them, and then we left Saturday.
Yeah.
So
this was already starting off a little rocky on our trip.
Yeah, so my brothers knew that our trip was coming up for our 20th anniversary, and they knew that we had already paid for it and everything, and they were like,
"Don't cancel, don't change your plans.
Enjoy your trip.
If anything happens, we won't tell you until you come back to Texas on a Wednesday."
In fact, my brother made me a deal, and he was like, "I am not going to tell you anything until you text me that you have landed.
Yeah.
And then I'll tell you yes or no, what's up, what's the latest." And I said, okay.
Didn't happen that way.
Well, he did not text me. He kept his word, but we're on the bus. What do you do when you're on the bus? When you've
been on an audiobook.
When you've been on an airplane for the whole day?
Listen to an audiobook.
I was scrolling through Instagram and Facebook, and my sister-in-law had posted on Facebook that my mom passed away while we were in the airplane. So I had the initial, oh my gosh, but then I was like, okay, we're on vacation. We're at the happiest place on earth. I'm just going to push this down, and I'm not going to deal with it until we get home.
But that also didn't exactly happen either.
I tried.
I know.
I did try.
But then it was like, okay, now her brothers know that she knows because she reacted to it on Facebook, so they saw that she saw the post. So then there was text messaging and phone calls and arranging for her son to come in from Virginia for the funeral, and it was distracting. I mean, I know you tried your best.
I did try. I tried.
It was very hard for me to enjoy this trip. Just because I knew that was, I mean, that's a tragedy that we had no, control over. Just trying to deal with it the best we could. So,
but I tried to push it down. I really did.
Yeah.
I tried. Anyway, so that was our first night. We get to the hotel.
We eat. We get our cups.
We get our cups,
yeah.
And we go to our room, and we're like, let's just chill.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it was like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night by the time we got to our room. So, I mean, there was really nothing to do.
Yeah.
But to prepare for our day one, which was
Hollywood Studios.
Okay, and I will say that I had 2 rules for myself on this trip for every single day. One was to not say no.
To me!
And this was before anything had happened. Like, I really this was for our 20th anniversary, but mainly she wanted to be there for their 50th. So I wanted to make sure that I didn't let her down and say no whenever it comes to certain rides or whatever. So I was going to ride anything that she wanted. And then second, I wanted to do something new every single day that we've never done before, or that I've never done before. And that I was successful at.
We were.
Yes,
and you did ride the one ride I asked you to ride.
Yeah. Well, okay. So, and then I also will say that every day we did have at least one disappointment. So we're going to get into all of that as we go through our days. But day one, Hollywood Studios, we get there maybe like within 30 minutes of the park opening.
Mm-hmm. And
what did we do?
We went straight down to the Chinese theater.
Yes.
And we saw that Mickey and Minnie's Runaway
Railway.
Say that 5 times fast.
No.
Anyways, it had a posted 25-minute wait time. And we were like, okay, let's get in line.
We're doing it.
Because neither one of us had been there since it opened.
Yeah.
We wanted to do it.
Yeah.
And it's a straight shot when you walk in. And I said, well, let's just go see what the wait is.
Let's go. And we saw the wait. I think we only waited like 14 minutes or something like that. So we got on it. And I will say, I can't show you the video with sound because I cussed. Okay, so I've seen a little bit of like the POVs that people do of the ride, but I haven't seen the whole thing. But even if I had, it doesn't exactly show just how jerky it is at a certain point, and I was not expecting it. It was fun, but I was a little nervous because I do get motion sick. So I was hesitant to ride it, but being first and really going, like starting the day off, like I had no time to really think about what I was doing, therefore I couldn't like talk myself out of it.
Yeah,
so we rode it.
14 minutes, boom, boom, boom.
The very beginning, I had no idea. If you've never ridden it, something happens at the beginning of the ride. Before you even get into the vehicle, there's a show. And that was so magical. I did not expect.
I can't believe you did. I've seen that in POVs.
I haven't seen an entire POV, so I didn't know that what happens. And then after the jerky part, it was really fun. I didn't get motion sick, which was great. But then at the very end, something happened that shocked me. I screamed. I had no idea. The ride's over. We're waiting to get out, and something happened, and it caught me by surprise. It was so much fun. We wanted to go and ride it again because I was filming, and I was like, let's ride it again, just so I can experience the whole thing, and that we didn't get to do that. We rode it once, and it was phenomenal. I absolutely loved it.
All right, so after we did Mickey and Minnie,
yes,
then we went over to Muppet Vision 3D.
Yes. Because that's what you wanted to do.
It's a Muppets, y'all. It's the Muppets.
That was fun. I mean, we've done that before.
Mm-hmm.
So the Runaway Railway was new for us.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. And then
we went and did the Frozen SingAlong.
Which was also new for us.
It took us a while to find it.
Yeah, it was a little tricky, but we found it. We got in, and we experienced Snope for the first time.
Yeah, we got Snoped on in the middle of the Frozen SingAlong.
This show was so
It was funny.
It was so funny. Like, their comedic timing, and you know it's got to be different, like, every time, because they made a joke based on what the audience did at a certain point, and they just, like, went along with it. I was like, okay, this has got to be, like, one of those things where it's a little different every time, depending on who the audience is. It was really fun. I had a blast. I was singing my little heart out. It was so good. I loved that.
Right, and we did a lot of walking around in between Mickey's, Muppets, and Frozen.
Yeah.
I mean, and it was pretty crowded that day.
It really was. And her number one thing she wanted to do was Slinky Dog Dash.
And we walked back there.
I was like, you know what? I got my Brave pants on today. We're going to go. And we get there, and it shut down.
Yeah.
And it stayed shut down. We could not get on it. So we were like, okay, let's go do other things. So what did we end up doing after Frozen?
After Frozen, we decided that, you know, it was about lunchtime, around lunchtime, and we were like, well, you know, why don't we go back to the hotel and rest up, get some lunch. It'll be cheaper at the hotel.
And then we'll come back and ride Slinky Dog Dash.
So as we're walking out, we see the Skyliner.
Like, we've never ridden the Skyliner.
We've never ridden the
either.
Skyliner before, and there's like no line.
Right.
So we're like,
It's midday. Like, let's get on.
let's take it.
Let's go to the first resort it stops at, just to say we've ridden it, and then come on back and take our bus. So we did.
That's what we did.
So so the first stop was a Caribbean beach resort, which we've never been to. So we got off and we walked around, went to the store there, kind of checked it out. It's a very huge, spread out resort, which I can see why a lot of people complain about that.
Just to get from the Skyliner to the part where the food
store.
and the store
Yeah.
and stuff is, it was a long walk.
But we made it, checked it out a little bit. It was cool. And then we had to make several stops on the way back. There's benches for resting stops on the way back. So.
Well, I have a bad knee, and
Yeah.
that day my hip was really
Yeah,
bothering me a
it really
lot.
was.
I
It
don't
was
know
weird.
what happened, but my hip was really bothering me. And I had to stop and rest a lot in between going
Yeah.
back and forth from the Skyliner to the Caribbean beach
Right.
and back. But and
Yeah.
it was fine the next day.
It was.
It was
weird.
the weirdest thing.
And that's something that you didn't prepare for. You prepared for your knee.
I did.
but not for a hip.
I had
because
knee braces, and I had
medicine
patch to go on my knee once it was sore.
It was just random.
But-
But we rode the Skyliner, and that was a blast. We visited another resort. That was fun and something we've never done before while we were there.
Mhm.
We've never gone to any other resort other than the one that we've stayed at. So
Right.
that was really fun. So we get on the Skyliner, we go back to Hollywood Studios to catch our bus to the hotel to go have lunch and rest up.
So we did that. We went back to the hotel.
Yeah.
We got something to eat.
Yeah.
And we just kind of rested a little bit.
For about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours.
Mhm.
around
And
there.
then
Let's go back to Hollywood Studios and ride Slinky Dog Dash and, call it a day.
she was excited.
I was
We're
ready.
heading back to Hollywood Studios.
I was like, it's now or never.
It doesn't
Like,
matter how long the line
Nope,
is.
we're
She's
gonna do
going to
it.
get in line for Slinky Dog Dash. This
Yes.
is what she told me.
Yes, I was being brave.
We walk from our room to the bus stop at the front of the hotel.
And it was like a 8-minute before the bus would be there. So
Yeah, we looked
like
in
we're
our room
timing, yeah.
and it said the bus would be there in about 8 minutes. So we're like, all right,
perfect.
let's go.
Let's go.
By the time we get from our room to the front of the hotel and we look up at the sign there, it says, bus not coming. What did it say?
It said, I didn't write it down what exactly it said, but it basically said almost like an error message. I'm like, okay, well, what does that mean? Basically, the bus wasn't coming, and we were like, you know what? We stayed there for a little bit to see if a new bus was going to be scheduled, like it got canceled or something, and it didn't. So we were like, you know what? Tomorrow is going to be a very big day, so let's just take the rest of the day and rest, and, too bad on Slinky Dog Dash.
Yeah.
So we
Because that was really the only reason we were going back.
Yeah, it
Was
the only
just
reason.
to do Slinky Dog Dash. We
Yeah.
were going to wait in line, even if it was like 80 minutes.
Yeah.
But we were like, you know what? Whatever.
You know what? We did some new things today. We saw some new things. Let's just call it a day and rest up for the next 2 days because they're going to be very big, very busy, very go, go, go. So we ended up going back to our room and just chilling the rest of the night, catching up on YouTube videos that we were missing or whatever, and just called it an early
We
night.
just kind of relaxed.
Yeah. So that was our day one. Hopefully I had some footage I could show you guys throughout, but it was an interesting start to our trip. I mean, just the looming, bad news, knowing what was going to be waiting for us whenever we got back home, and then Slinky Dog Dash going down. As we were walking, we're like, oh, yes. We get there, they were just now making people get out of line.
Mhm.
So, I don't know what happened, but
And then the bus messing
the
up.
bus
It's like,
is
okay,
like,
it wasn't meant to be.
it wasn't meant to be. Yeah.
Wasn't meant to be.
Maybe fate knew I couldn't handle it.
I was like, no, girl, you're brave, but you can't do it. So that's what I'm thinking. I don't think Slinky Dog Dash is that bad. You haven't ridden it. You don't know.
Here we go.
But I will say that Minnie and Mickey's Runaway Railway was a blast. I loved it so much. In the Frozen show,
That was a lot of fun.
that was really fun.
That was a lot of fun. It was
in
so
AC.
funny.
It was about 25-30 minutes long. It was a pretty lengthy show. It was funny. It was interactive. Of course, it's a sing-along. It was just it made the trip for me. It really did. So that was everything we did on day one. Not a whole lot of activity, but enough to make us, okay, you know, we got this. We can do this. We can push through.
We're going to push through this.
Yeah. So that was a look at everything that we did on day one at Hollywood Studios. Leave a comment down below. Let us know, have you ridden the Skyliner? I was surprised, like, I just got on. Because there was no line. I got on with no hesitation. And I was terrified. But it wasn't as bad as nothing ever is as bad as you think it's going to be.
Exactly. It's
But
all up here.
It is all up. I know this. I have anxiety. I know exactly what it is. But it still scares me. But it was fine. It was fun.
Don't be
It was
scared.
great. Yeah, but it was good.
It was
a good day.
Yeah, I had fun that day.
Yeah. All right, well, that's going to do it for us today. We're going to do another video doing our day 2 and day 3, so keep an eye out for those. And I think this is New Year's Eve.
Oh, well.
So,
Happy New Year. Let's go have a shot.
Okay. All right, well, we'll see you guys in our next video. Bye.
Bye.